Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another SWTOR video. Today I have guys a SWTOR discussion video. In today's SWTOR discussion video, we're just going to be talking about why losing is important. And now this is mainly just based on just the Star Wars The Old Republic PvP, and why I personally feel that a loss can be very important and just overall help you a lot more versus an actual win. So I hope you guys enjoy this SWTOR video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some gaming mints, then check the link in the description down below, Catalyst Gaming Mints. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in this discussion. Alrighty guys, so let's get into this right now. So as mentioned, losing being important. Now, this is something that I typically say in my Star Wars The Old Republic PvP videos. It's also one of the reasons why I decide to upload some losses I get when I am PvPing. So the main reason behind this whole entire idea of just losing being helpful is just mainly because of the fact that when you lose, I feel like you can kind of learn a bit more versus a win. A win. For example, the one example that I typically use a lot for this is, say that I am on Republic side, I am on my commando right here. We are just absolutely destroying someone on the Civil War. We just have a triple cap on the enemy team, and they're just getting absolutely crushed. Now, typically this would be an easy win, and obviously it's really awesome to get wins, and it is very helpful, and just nice to see. But at the same time, you kind of have that back feeling like, hey, I mean, that was too easy in a sense, in that, hey, I want to get into a little competitive match. This is also something that is very apparent when you decide to play ranked PvP matches, because obviously no one wants to lose, honestly, because losing is always not fun at all. But still, I feel like you kind of can learn from it versus a match that could have been very easy. And this is something that I typically try to, once again, kind of show with my videos that I have, is that I feel like you can kind of learn from your mistakes, or you can kind of see where you went wrong, or quite possibly where a team went wrong at certain points. And I feel like that's important to kind of realize and understand, because even at times when something isn't really going too well, especially in this game, some of it has to do with teamwork, and also it can be just a player's actual gameplay and what they're doing. I feel like this is kind of useful because you can kind of just learn to better yourself and essentially just learn what's working and what isn't. And obviously, once again, I feel like with losing, it's never fun, but at the same time, I feel like you have to lose a couple times in order to really understand and realize what it takes to really just up your game. Now, another thing that I feel is overall a kind of important concept is when you lose, sometimes people can tend to get angry, or in the sense that you might get a little irritated because you feel like a teammate didn't do something correctly, or might have caused a match to be lost. And I feel like this is also important because it kind of teaches you and kind of allows you to realize that, hey, I mean, that happens every now and then. You can't win them all. And also kind of tells you to kind of learn and basically figure out, what is working and what isn't. You can kind of just learn to kind of deal with some mistakes or having some problems and not really succeeding. I feel like sometimes people tend to get really irritated at times when they don't want to match, and they might just get angry and toxic at people. And if they start to kind of realize, their mistakes, or they kind of realize hey, I mean, it happens, you can't win them all, then it can allow them to kind of not really reform, but just kind of learn, what's working, what isn't. A good way to just kind of keep teammates just, kind of invested without actually losing, and just, all that different stuff, and just kind of causing the team to really go down. I feel like that is something that a lot of people don't always consider, at least with even just just gameplay in general. A lot of people don't realize it, and sometimes they can be really toxic just without realizing it, or they just kind of don't know what to actually say, and they just in general are just a bit irritated about things. So I feel like that's something that's important about losing. You kind of learn how to adapt, or, adapt and kind of realize, hey, I might be being a little too hard on someone, or also just kind of figure out what's working and what can allow people to really work as a team. Because I have ran into people that when they are really fed up or they feel like they're gonna lose something, they just decide to either throw or they just kind of give up. They don't really care what's even happening at that point, which is never fun. Honestly, it's not fun for that to be the case, but it can be the case at some points. And this can actually go the opposite way completely, just being completely honest. This can actually go another way, and just by the fact that it can go another way is essentially if someone else is actually being toxic to you, you aren't just accidentally being toxic to someone or something else. One way that actually can kind of work right there is you can just kind of notice that, hey, people are being kind of rude, they're just completely having problems with what I'm doing. You can kind of learn from that and just kind of realize what's up. And I feel like that's something that can be very good just in its own sense, is you kind of learn, hey, you know, some people are just getting irritated at me, I just gotta figure out what's up, what am I doing wrong, or maybe, you know, why is this person irritated. You can just kind of learn how to adapt once again. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't tend to realize, is that you really can just adapt to what people are doing and just kind of learn from it in a sense, just to learn really what's going on and all that different stuff. So that is something right there. Just understand that it can work both ways, and losing can be a good lesson to learn how to just deal with the issues, whether it's with teammates or just you just, I say, indirectly don't understand that you might be causing some people to get irritated, or just might be bringing the team down. And another thing why it is important to lose, this is mainly just directed at my channel in general, but one thing that I really tend to kind of say, and kind to really, I say, really note in general just with my channel, is I try to highlight the losses as well as the wins, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like some people, just in the sense that want to just see it as, oh, hey, I guess you could say, you know, that you just win every single match, and that, you know, it's just completely easy to win every match, which, I mean, it is true. There can be a lot of people you can do incredibly well and win a majority of your matches, that's fine, but I feel like it is important sometimes to just also kind of showcase that it is possible to lose, and how to actually deal with it, and how to kind of learn from the mistakes. I feel like that is one key thing, and it's also something that's really important just in general, because one thing that a lot of people tend to do is, if you really want to get better at a game, I know what a lot of people do is they will record just one game, probably more or less one of their worst games they've had, or basically where they're playing really bad, and just kind of learn from those mistakes, kind of rewatch the footage, see what they're doing wrong, and kind of figure out where to go from there. I think that's one thing that is important with a loss, is especially if you actually have a recording software, or you just get Shadow Play or something and just record the past 20 minutes or something, or you do a PvP match, you can just simply look back at the footage, and if you feel like, you know, that game wasn't up to par, you feel like you could have done a lot better, you can kind of look at what actually occurred and just kind of learn from it and just see how to actually fix it. Because if you learn from that, I feel like you can definitely learn a lot just with the game in general, and just kind of figure out what really can be fixed. And that's something that a lot of people tend to overlook, but I feel like it is something that is really worth noting. But yeah, guys, those are just my few generic reasons and kind of tips of just why I feel like losing is important. It's just something that I really kind of wanted to do a discussion about. It's also a comment that I occasionally see when sometimes people ask why exactly I decided to upload losses on my PvP series. I just thought it made a pretty good discussion point that really I just wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this SWTOR roleplay discussion video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.